Hello, guys, Jai Shri Ram. If there is one movie in Hollywood which gathered a lot of critical acclaim in 2024, then it is Civil War. It is directed by Alan Garland, and I have to review this movie because it shows the left and the right come together in favor of democracy against a dictatorial president. So I have never seen a movie where the left and the right are shown to come together. But in this movie, they want to show that left and right are just two ideologies to run the country. But at the end of the day, both are patriots. Both of them want democracy in their country and not dictatorship. So let's get started with the review. I'll start my review with the writer and director Alan Garland. Now, he's not new to Hollywood. He has given many hits like Ex Mechanica, Annihilation, Men. So he normally gives a hit every 4 years. But this time, after Men, he has only waited for 2 years and gave this particular movie. Probably because the US is in the election period, and probably that is the reason why this movie came a little too early. The filmmaking is really good. Cinematography is awesome. It is IMAX worthy, you can say. Speed and grip of the movie is also great. Political agenda. Now, this is the basic reason for which I'm making this review. See, for the first time, I saw a movie in which the left and the right come together in favor of democracy against dictatorship. So I loved this concept. This director, at least he doesn't appear to be picking side between left and the right. He is trying to stay balanced. Even with respect to journalism, he shows how journalism is bad sometimes, but journalism is also very necessary for a democracy to survive. He also tells about all the problems that the journalists normally face. Okay, so he has a very balanced approach between the left and the right, as well as a goodness and badness in journalism. So that's what I really liked about this movie. Cast is excellent. Here I have written good, but actually the cast is excellent. Good for the role. Kirst Dust. So she is the same actress who played Mary Jane Watson in the 2000s Spider-Man movies, the very first Spider-Man movies which became hit during our period. Uh, she has really worked hard for her role. She is shown to be a journalist, a very old kind of a journalist. Even her age at the moment is actually 41, so it suits her age also, by the way. And she's shown to be a journalist. So she has worked on how to handle the cameras. She holds a Sony camera, Sony Venice, I think, camera. And when she holds it, it feels like she knows how to hold a camera. She holds it like this. So very few people hold it in the proper way. Another thing that I liked about her is that she has really shown a wide spectrum of acting in this particular movie. Sometimes she is bogged down by the continuous questioning that a junior journalist keeps doing. Although she's not very happy with the way way the junior journalist is thinking about the world or journalism in general, and she tries to mentor her or correct her, course correct her in a little frustrating way. Maybe she is frustrated with that. At the same time, sometimes she is herself, bogged down by the situation. She is shown to be having a post-traumatic stress disorder, that is PTSD. And also at times, she is more worried about the lack of Wi-Fi as compared to, the mayhem that is caused due to this, civil war and all people are dying, but she's not worried much about that, but she's more worried about the Wi-Fi not being up to the mark. So she shows a wide spectrum of acting. So I can say she actually carries the entire movie on her shoulders. She is the main lead actor, you can say, of this movie. But the same screen time and same weightage is also given to few other actors like Stephen, Kelly, and Wagner. So Stephen is the same person who played the role of human computer in Dune movie. Same guy. He is an excellent actor. In whatever movie he comes, he really leaves a mark on that movie. People know that movie by him. And here also, I think this movie will be known by the acting of Kirsten and Stephen Henderson. Kelly Spency, quite frankly, I'm not very impressed with her acting. Wagner Mora was also okay, okay. Both of them acted on an average, but none of them are bad actors. It's not like they overacted or underacted, nothing like that. They are just average actors. They just do not leave much of an impression upon me. But it's up to you. You can let me know in the comment section how you like them or not. Plot is really awesome. See, what is a plot? I'll tell you. Uh, One president becomes dictatorial. So in America, you must be aware that the presidents are not allowed to repeat for the third time consecutively. So, suppose you're a president for 4 years. There the term of presidentship is just 4 years, not like us 5 years here in India, but 4 years there. So, for the first 4 years, let us say Obama was the president for 4 years. Then he repeated his term. The next time, for the next 4 years, also he was president. After that, he cannot remain the president. He has to allow somebody else from his party to become the president, right? So then, this I think. But some other person came there. Donald Trump won the election, by the way. So this is how it is. But this president became dictatorial. He says that, I want to repeat for the third consecutive term, and if that really happens, they have to abrogate the constitutional amendment and make this happen. Or in a way, it is being shown in the movie that. Probably he becomes dictatorial, so the constitution won't hold much of an effect. He becomes the dictator of America. He takes over America in a way, in a political way. But of course, the whole movie never speaks in too much detail about what is actually happening. It just shows the situation and it leaves it with the audience to imagine what must have happened. Uh, the left, that is the blue states, and the right, that is the red states, they come together to protect this democracy. Okay. The US is divided into three freedom fighter zones versus the loyalist states. So, loyalist states that are shown here in blue, they stay loyal with the dictatorial president. Okay. And then freedom fighters who want to topple this guy and bring back the democracy, they are divided into three zones. One is the Western forces, that is shown in green over here. See, Texas is normally a right-winger state, a red state, and California is normally a left-winger state or a blue state. But here, both of them are shown to have come together in order to protect democracy and topple this dictatorial president. Another zone of freedom fighters is the Florida Zone or Florida Alliance, as they call it. And the third one is New People's Army. So this name, it seems to be derived from the People's Republic of China, the People's Army or USSR kind of an army. That kind of an army, so socialist. It has a socialist flavor to its name. I don't know why that was given, but in the movie it wasn't shown to be socialist or communist in any way. And see, very carefully, red color is not given over here. Red color is given to the Florida Alliance, and the word alliance is used here. So if you know, I don't know. Alliance doesn't go very well with the communists. So the director is really intelligent. He has actually paid attention to this, that left versus right should not be done in this movie, and any clear cut divide between actual red states and blue states and red states should not be shown. But yeah, this is the whole plot. And then finally, a group of journalists, that means the four people that I showed in the earlier slide, they are traveling to the capital to interview the dictatorial president before he is dethroned by these freedom fighters. So the main zone which is really winning over is the Western forces, that is the green ones, and the red ones join hands with it, and even the yellow ones also join hands with it. So the color combination over here is like, these are the basic colors that you can think of, right? Green, red, blue, and yellow. So it's not about left states or blue states and red states, that is Republican states or right winger states. It is not about that. It is just a very arbitrary color scheme that the director has used. Okay. Production is extremely premium. Premium itself is a superlative word, but I'm saying very, very premium it is. Uh, it is already a hit, you can say, because the production cost was 50 million and it has already recovered around 43 million so far. Because, see, this movie was released in March in the US and in April in the UK. So it has gathered a lot of money. Now, whatever profit it makes in all the other countries like India, it is cherry over the topping, I can say. But most of the production cost is already recovered, so it doesn't fall into the category of flop. It is a hit. Now, whether it will become a super hit or not, whether it will become a cult kind of a classic, will it become like that? I don't know. Only the time will tell. But at the moment, it is at least a hit. Innovation in the camera tech, yeah, this is what I really wanted to focus upon. They used these cameras. So here, normally, DJI Ronin 4D camera, it is a camera that is normally used by indie filmmakers. Indie means independent, not Indian. Indie means independent. So let us say that I want to make a documentary for my YouTube channel. So normally that kind of people will be using this camera. So this is not a very mainstream kind of a camera for Hollywood, but this director has used it. Of course, every camera that Hollywood uses, it has a stabilization function in it. So when you start shooting and you move around, the camera won't move. It's like the chicken's neck, it will stay in its place. And you will keep moving the camera, but you will keep moving your hand position, but the camera will normally stay stable. This is what Ronin 4D also does, but it is not a very high-end camera, you can say. Nobody uses in Hollywood except this particular director, and it's very well done. It is used as a B camera, by the way. Sony cameras are mainly used. Sony cameras like Venice 3, A7S3 are used, and of course these are great cameras. These are normally used by other Hollywood people also. So that is how it is. So what is the effect of using this kind of a camera? The effect is that this looks like a documentary, but it never becomes a documentary. It is so it gives a feel of a documentary. It gives a feel like the camera is handheld. Okay, there is no trolley carrying that camera, so it is handheld. Of course it is handheld. That's the reason why you have used Ronin 4D. It's a handheld camera only. So it gives a feeling of being handheld, as well as you get a dreamy effect. So it's not very jittery. If you really hold a camera, phone camera, let us say, then it won't stabilize very well. There will be a lot of jitter in your video. But this one also has a dreamy effect. So it's handheld plus dreamy effect. So it gives a different effect. Go see the movie. Let me know in the comment section how you liked it. And finally, I'll say that it's not a documentary at all. Although the movie has a good message, it doesn't fall into a trap of becoming a documentary. It never becomes a documentary. It is a mass masala audience film. Okay, it's a mass masala film. It's just like Jawan, you can say, Jawan, Pathan. It's that kind of a movie. Although it has a message, it never becomes a documentary. Finally, what is the message in the film? So it's a love letter to the journalists. Yeah, this is what the director also said in one of the interviews. He said that this is my love letter to the journalists. One fun fact I'll tell you: the director is also the son of a cartoonist. So his dad was a cartoonist for a newspaper. So he knows how journalism works. Okay, and he's very close to it, and this also shows in the movie. Journalists are, he believes, are like doctors to the democracy. uh, they also suffer a lot of problems like post-traumatic stress disorder, that is PTSD. Hence they usually try to desensitize themselves from whatever they are filming. What does this mean? So, see, normally you must have seen that people accuse journalists as being very stone hearted. Means they will capture an image of a man sinking down in the flood, but they won't support that man to save his life. So they are shown to be very stone hearted people. They'll go into Taliban and they will, the Taliban affected area, and they will shoot the plight of all the women there and all, but they'll never support a single girl there. Okay, so they'll only shoot the plight of people, but they'll not do anything to help them out. This movie actually addresses this, that why are journalists like this? They are like this because if they start uh, feeling everything that they shoot, then they will go through this PTSD thing. So they consciously separate their personal lives and their journalistic lives. So they shoot everything for the sake of the story, but in the back of their mind, they always have the story, and they don't associate themselves with that stressful condition that they are shooting. Otherwise, they themselves go through this post-traumatic stress disorder. So the main character in this movie goes through this PTSD, and so this is showing the side of the journalist, that why do they behave like this. So it gives an explanation to that behavior. Another thing is that the main message of this movie is pro journalism. It says that journalists are no longer ideal. We all know that journalists are either leftist or rightist. They pick a side and all. We know this. They have an agenda. They show just a part of the whole story so as to set an agenda. This is very well known. So journalists have done a lot to discredit themselves, and so we are able to discredit them. But then discrediting journalists or journalism in general is not very fruitful for the democracy. It is hurting the democracy, because how can you expect a democracy to flourish if you are damaging or you are discrediting the fourth pillar of that democracy, right? So this is also one of the messages in the movie, that although journalists are not very ideal human beings, but we should refrain from discrediting journalism in general, because it damages our democracy. And finally, the second message is, a movie doesn't pick sides. As I told you earlier, the movie attacks war and violence, but it doesn't attack left, that is Democrats, or right, that is Republicans. It doesn't attack any of them. It doesn't say that this civil war is due to the Republicans, oh, they are very violent people. It doesn't say that this civil war is due to the leftist people, they are all anarchic people, they never like the whatever government is there. It doesn't pick sides, which is a great thing about this movie. And finally, in fact, this movie even shows the left and the right to come together against the dictator, and in favor of the democracy. So that's the reason why I made this review. Do let me know how you liked this review, and if you have any differences, do let me know. For further research, you can go to these other credible reviews on YouTube, or the trailers of the movie. Until next time, Jai Shri Ram. ये है अमित शिरासाव, अमित शिरासाव, अमित शिरासाव, अमित शिरासाव.